beautiful days of spring training dwindling down to a precious few here in Lake Buena Vista, Florida. We're under a week until opening day as the Atlanta Braves play host to the Detroit Tigers here in Orlando, Florida. All season long, Braves baseball on Sports South being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, and the low price. And hi again, everybody in Braves country. Joe Simpson, Chip Carey. Special shout out to those of you watching at the Braves open house at Turner Field. We sure wish you were here. It's a beautiful day for baseball, and some very interesting decisions still have to be made, Joe, for this ball club with a week to go.
You know, a lot of the decisions are the same ones that were there at the beginning of spring training, Chip, and most notably, I guess the one that got the most news was at shortstop. And with only 3 games to go down here in Florida, at least in my opinion, it may be that Tyler Pasternicki has moved a little bit ahead of Andrelton Simmons, because his bats come around more than anything else. He's swinging a lot better. He says he's a lot more comfortable. But yet, despite the fact that that decision may be moving toward a conclusion, there are others still to be made.
And Freddie Gonzalez will be one of our guests during the broadcast today as the Tigers bring Justin Verlander to the mound. He will be their opening day starter for Detroit. And Tommy Hanson, he's in line to pitch on opening day for the Braves against the New York Mets. Will that hold true to form? We'll find out. First pitch and lineups, Braves and Tigers baseball in Orlando, coming right up. Stadium getting us set for the Braves and the Tigers. Joe Simpson, Chip Carey with you. Tom Hart along as well as is Beth Keener. Let's check in with Beth this afternoon.
Hey, Braves fans. Okay, I already know you're online, so why don't you follow us at Twitter at Sports South, use the hashtag FSBraves, or like our Facebook page, Fox Sports South. I'm going to be posing questions to you all throughout the game to see what you guys are talking about, any questions or comments you might have for Joe and Chip in the booth. But our first question of the day is for Joe and Chip. All right, guys, the fans really want to know, what's the status of Chipper, and when do we think he's going to be ready to go?
Well, Ben, I talked to Jeff Porter before the ball game, and he gave me rave reviews on Chipper's progress as he's way ahead in his recovery. That is, his flexibility in his knee is outstanding. Even in the third day, he was getting great range of motion. So I think the plan is still for Chipper to open at home for his first game, and let's hope he stays on track for that.
Sounds like a plan to me. And sounds like a plan for Tommy Hanson to mow down a Tigers lineup that's off to a very, very good start and run this spring training. The Tigers are 16-7 so far in Florida. This is how Jim Leland lines them up today with Austin Jackson, Brennan Bosch, Miguel Cabrera back in at third base, Prince Fielder. Our first look at Prince Fielder in a Tigers uniform. He's their big cleanup hitter in what should be a fearsome Tiger offense in 2012.
Well, if it weren't for a bad shoulder last year, Tommy Hanson would have had a heck of a year. He was 10-4 at one point before the shoulder injury really slowed him down. He missed, as you see, the last 48 games of the year, but he was 5th in the major leagues in average strikeouts per 9 innings at 9.83. And despite a slow start here in spring training because of that car accident, he's really rounding into shape and looking good as he gets ready for that opening day assignment in New York. His 4 keys to pitching success: continued good command, which he's had this spring, and work on his slider to be a little more efficient with that. And he'll be tested on Prince Fielder with that slider today.
One would think. And Tommy's first pitch of the day is a little up and in to Austin Jackson. He's the Tigers center fielder. Last year, 10 homers, 22 doubles, 11 triples, a 249 average. A guy that came over from the Yankees organization in a deal a couple of years ago. Just 3 umpires for this spring training game. Travis Carlson will work the dish. Lance Barksdale and Vic Carapazza will rotate from first and third base. Get a couple of looks at second base as well. Spring training for the umpires too.
Virtually every guy in this Tigers lineup has power to some degree. They're all very versatile hitters, could bat just about anywhere in the lineup, and just an outstanding offensive team.
And a little low, full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers last year went 95-67, made it to the second round of the American League playoffs. Drive to left puts Jackson aboard to start the game for the Tigers. A lot of Detroit fans have made the journey from Lakeland, about 40 minutes from Disney. And that's how today's game starts, with a solid single to left. Here's how the Braves defense looks on this sunny Saturday. Hinsky, Bourne, and Hayward left to right in the Braves outfield. Look at Jack Wilson at third. Tyler Pasternicki is the shortstop. And David Ross working behind the plate for Tommy Hanson.
Tommy's only walked 1 in his first 7 innings of work this spring in official games.
Jackson runs. Ross's throw late.
As you've probably heard by now or read, Tommy Hanson's working hard on shortening up his delivery, speeding up his delivery to the plate in an effort to give his catchers a chance to throw out base stealers who really took advantage of Tommy last year. Jackson flat out ran that throw. That was a good throw by David Ross.
So Brennan Bosch bats with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. And Bosch has had a terrific spring.
He's tied for the Grapefruit League lead in homers with one Freddie Freeman and Dan Uggla.
That's good news for the Tigers. This man missed a lot of time with a thumb problem. He's come out of the gate swinging a hot stick all spring. And Uggla with a bare hand. A little bit of a stumble too for Uggla, but Dan's all right. Good play, retires Bosch. Jackson to third with 1 out.
That was a really good play, because if he's going to barehand it and doesn't come up with it cleanly, if it goes under him, a run scores. So not only did he get the out, but the runner only advanced to third. Good play by Dan.
And now Miguel Cabrera has a chance to score or drive in the first run of the game for the Tigers. A .344 average last season for Cabrera, and look what he's done this spring.
Sat out 10 days after he got hit in the eye with a bad hop grounder that actually fractured an orbital bone around his eye. Missed 10 days, came back yesterday and hit 2 doubles.
There's that breaking ball you were talking about.
And it was a good breaking ball to Bosch, too, that got the little tapper. I was watching Miguel take batting practice, and for a guy that doesn't look like he's swinging hard, he hits the ball so far in batting practice just to see how far they'll go.
Slow roller to Jack Wilson. And Cabrera drives home the game's first run with a ground out to third. And it's 1-0 Tigers. And if you have to face Prince Fielder, this is how you want to do it.
He had a pretty good day. I think the first game of the spring against Atlanta had a bunch of hits. In fact, the Braves have played the Tigers 4 times and they are looking for their first win against Detroit. Let's put it that way.
Here's a quick strike to Fielder. Were you shocked that it was Detroit that ended up getting Prince Fielder?
I was real surprised. But as soon as the Pujols deal was done, it kind of opened the door for other teams to step in and try to grab him. And Detroit had lost Victor Martinez, their catcher and DH, and they needed some help with the bat and their lineup. I mean, that's kind of funny to say with their lineup as potent as it is, but it's even better now.
Into a shift. Fielder will ground out, and the Tigers settle for a single run in the first. Justin Verlander to the mound for Detroit. Tigers 1, Braves coming up. Tigers score first. They lead 1-0 as we head to the Braves half of our opening inning here at Champion Stadium. And today only buy a season ticket plan of 20 games or more to get a 1984 Dale Murphy replica jersey. You'll be entered also into the Chipper Jones 10 prizes in 10 days promotion. All season ticket holders get 33% off food and beverage all year long at Turner Field. And Braves representatives are available now. Give them a call at 404-577-9100. Here's how the Braves line up. Bourne, Jack Wilson, Freddie Freeman. Then Dan Uggla, Jason Hayward, Eric Hinsky, Tyler Pastornicki back in at shortstop. He'll bat eighth. Tigers are using a DH. The Braves are allowing their pitcher to hit today.
Which is not good news for Tommy Hanson because this guy's unbelievable. He won the Cy Young and the American League MVP last year. Verlander went 24-5, as you see. A strikeout per inning pitched. He throws hard, has a great curveball, excellent changeup and slider. But other than that, he's just okay. His 4 keys to pitching success today: gas, gas, gas. His fastball in the upper 90s, sometimes 100 miles an hour, and a 12-6 curveball that's fun to watch.
Unless you're trying to do what Michael Bourne's doing, which is hit it, right?
Mm-hmm. It's rare that a pitcher wins both awards. He's the first to do it since Clemens won it back in 1986.
In fact, it's only happened 10 times in history. Guys like Sandy Koufax and Bob Gibson have done what Justin Verlander did last year. Remarkable.
Oddly, 3 of those have been Detroit Tigers. Denny McClain, Guillermo Hernandez also did it. 85-mile-an-hour changeup.
Michael Bourne, 286 this spring, couple of homers. He's knocked in 9 runs. And a short hop at shortstop. Johnny Peralta makes the play. And Michael Bourne's retired. Here's the rest of the Tiger defense. Austin Jackson patrols center field. With the signing of Prince Fielder, that means Miguel Cabrera moves across the diamond to play third base. And Alex Avila behind the plate, a terrific young hitting catcher.
Some questions still exist for the Tigers defense, but everybody around their camp talking about how they've been impressed with the way everybody's worked defensively this spring.
Our first look at Jack Wilson this spring. Jack, as you know, missed some time with a calf problem. And a ground ball to Rayburn at second base. 2 outs. Well, the Tigers last year used 6 different men to play second base and used 5 different guys to play third. So they're going to have a much more stable infield defense with Fielder and Cabrera at the corners.
And second base is still a little bit, it's not up for grabs by any means, but Rayburn could play there a lot. So could Brandon Inge, although Inge has not had a very good spring. So there's some questions as even whether or not he'll make the club.
Freddie Freeman jumps on the first pitch he sees. And Jackson in right center. Hauls it in. Verlander works a 1-2-3. Bottom of the first. 1-0 Tigers. Top of the second inning in Orlando. Plenty of news around Braves camp. For more on that, let's check in with Tom Hart.
Okay, thanks, Chip. Joined now by Freddie Gonzalez. Freddie, you had an opportunity now to set your rotation, and that includes Tommy Hanson for opening day. How'd you come to that conclusion?
Well, you know what? When the season started, or spring training started, in my back of my mind and back of Roger's mind, that's who we wanted to go with. We didn't know it for sure that it was going to happen because he had a little setback with one car accident. He had the concussion. He missed the first 10, 12 days of spring training. but he's been able to catch up, and we've been able to mix him in there after the off day and kind of fix the rotation for him to do it. And I think we start off the block with with Tommy, and then JJ, and then Minor. We wanted to throw a left-hander in there in between those two right-handers, and I think that the Mets probably have about 4 or 5 left-handers in that lineup, so we could match up well there. And really, that's the only time in the whole season you can really match up is the beginning of the year. And then we go with Beachy, number 4, and then we'll see. Number 5 is still a battle.
Now, everyone's talking about the shortstop situation as well. I understand that Simmons has been a little bit banged up as of late. How has he been lately, and when do you expect to see him back on the field?
Well, you know what? If he doesn't step a foot on the field until the spring training is over, I think we've come up with enough games that we can make a decent evaluation, a very good evaluation, and come up with a decision. I think we've seen enough of him defensively that we know what he could do there. And so it's going to be one of those to the end of spring training, and a lot of extra hours of meeting and trying to make the right decision.
Hey, finally, Livan Hernandez gets added to the roster yesterday. The thought is that he'll be pitching out of the bullpen and maybe spot start. Is it completely out of the question that he could earn that 5th starter spot?
Yeah, I think so. At least to start the season with, I think he's going to give us some depth in the bullpen. He's going to be complement Christian Martinez a little bit, and if we ever need situation when we're up by a lot or whatever, they could give us a couple innings, or somebody needs a spot start, or we get a rain out and we need a spot start. You got Livan Hernandez, who's done it for a lot of years, and he could really eat up some innings.
Freddie, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, back to you guys.
Okay, Tom, thank you very much. This is Alex Avila, the Detroit catcher, with 1 out and the bases clear in the 2nd inning. So a lot of things to talk about in that interview with Tom Hart and Freddie Gonzalez. First of all, the decision that Tommy Hansen's going to be this team's opening day starter.
I don't think that came as a surprise to anybody. Like he said, that was kind of in the back of their mind when they started camp. It was just the car accident that gave them pause to think that maybe they'd have to use someone else if Tommy couldn't catch up work-wise. But he appears ready to go. And he explained how he would like to have Minor pitch against the Mets because they do have some lefties in their lineup, and help try to offset that on Sunday, which would be the 3rd day. So I don't think there's any big surprise there on the setup.
Nice breaking ball, caught the corner, and Hansen has his first strikeout.
That pitch actually looked like it backed up a little bit, like a straight changeup. Nope, curveball, and it did seem to move back a little bit.
So Avila sees breaking balls thrown to him by his pitcher and Tommy Hansen. And there's the 2nd out. How about the Livan Hernandez signing? Did that seem to come out of the blue for you?
I'm on board with that. I was last year when the Braves down the stretch were having to pitch without Hansen, without Jurgens. Derek Lowe was not pitching well. I thought he was a guy, boy, I'd love to have him out there every 5th day because he competes so well. So I think it's a great pickup. He gives them depth, as Freddie said, in their bullpen, and a guy that, along with Medlin, that if they need an extra starter somewhere along the way, they've got a couple of guys for that.
Ryan Rayburn now, a ball and 2 strikes.
The only question to me, Chip, is that he's only got 1 relief appearance in his whole career. So that's something he's going to have to adjust to. But he's very durable. He's never been on the disabled list in his entire career.
A little low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. That means you have potentially 3 guys with the same role in the Braves bullpen. Chris Medlin, Livan Hernandez, and Christian Martinez, right?
And the effort there is to take pressure off the back end of the bullpen, one that was used a lot, as we know, in 2011. So they will be a 3-man bridge between starters and those guys at the end of the game.
Tommy Hansen breezes through the 2nd inning, and still a 1-0 Tiger score. In the Braves second, Dan Uggla, Jason Hayward, and Eric Hinske are coming up against right-hander Justin Verlander. And speaking of Jason Hayward, can he bounce back from a disappointing 2011 season? Our own Andy Johnson gives you his take on Hayward's progress during spring training. Find this article and more on your Atlanta Braves on FoxSportsSouth.com.
If Jason's work this past week is any indication, I would say absolutely he will. He's had a great week, both defensively and swinging the bat. Watched him last night take some swings, actually took some pitches that I'm not used to seeing him take the way he took them, and I'll explain when he comes up.
And that'll be after Dan Uggla goes to work. Dan's had a terrific spring, too. Joe mentioned all the home runs, 6 of them, 14 RBIs, and Dan's hit almost 300 here in March. And here's a closer look at Dan's good spring work, our Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard. Nice to see him at 298 with 30 homers in the regular season, huh?
Yeah, it would. He's been hot from the first day on. There's that hook and a beauty. But the guys are swinging the bat better. They're playing better baseball as a general rule. Better results too.
Nasty pitch from Verlander, his first strikeout.
You throw 95 plus, and then you come back with the big right over the top 12-6 curveball like that you're throwing about eye high. So it looks a little bit like a fastball coming out of his hand. Man, is that devastating. Out of Old Dominion, 6'5", 225.
And now here is Jason Hayward. You mentioned you were impressed with the way Jason took pitches. What do you mean by that?
Well, last year it seemed like if Jason got anything pitched to him inside, he was flying open so much that he swung at the pitch, or he tended to foul it, pull it foul. Last night he was being pitched inside, and if you understand what I mean when I say jackknifed out of the way, where he just kind of pushed his hands forward, tried to get his waist out of the way, it at least gave me the indication that he's thinking up the middle, he's thinking about going the other way, which is what they were working on. He and Greg Walker have been working on all spring. But good numbers, good results for a lot of the guys this past week. Freddie Freeman is on fire. McCann swinging good. Uggla, Jason.
Martin Prado's had a good run.
Michael Bourne's had a good week.
And ideally, that's what you want to see your club do the final week or so. Really start clicking and playing regular season style baseball. And apparently the Braves are doing that.
Well, I know they weren't playing well early on. Before Chipper got hurt, he was on with us in an interview when we were down here talking about how there weren't too many competitive at bats, that sort of thing. But that's turned around, and the team is getting after it, winning some games. And I was just checking standings. Nobody in the National League East has a winning record in spring training. So no reason for anybody to panic.
2 balls and a strike to Eric Hinske. God, well, he's got all 3 working. You can see how he win 24 games.
Yeah. Okay, you give a guy a good fastball and a good curveball, and then you fire in an 83-mile-an-hour changeup. Not fair.
I was going to say, when do you start yelling that? Verlander will get the ball on opening day for the Tigers. They open at home against the Red Sox.
He's thrown 2 no-hitters in his career. One was last year at Toronto. Won 17 games his rookie year for Rookie of the Year. That was in 06.
Battle with Eric Hinske here in a full count.
And he's also got good command. I mean, he averages last year he averaged real close to 4-to-1 strikeouts to walks. He's just flat out good. And Eric giving him a good battle.
A 10-pitch at bat coming.
And naturally, with the meniscus tear for Chipper and the subsequent surgery, Prado moves in to play third on a regular basis until Chipper comes back, and that means more at bats for Hinske and Diaz in left.
Verlander has retired the first 6 he has faced. He's got a couple of strikeouts and a 1-0 lead. The Braves on Sports South are brought to you in part by Academy Sports and Outdoors and by Ford. Third inning at Champion Stadium. Tigers lead 1-0. That run came in the first inning. Austin Jackson scored on a Miguel Cabrera ground out. Now Tommy Hanson will face the 8, 9, and 1 spots for Detroit. It starts with shortstop Johnny Peralta.
Another guy in their lineup, middle infielder who can put up some big power numbers.
He hit 21 homers, knocked in 86 men, and hit 299. And was very slick defensively, too. It's a pretty nice combination.
A couple of pretty good curveballs of his own for Tommy Hanson here to start him.
Deep short. Pasternaky. And Peralta has an infield hit.
Good range here by Tyler, but too far on the jump throw to have any chance.
Austin Jackson was running on the first move from Hanson in the first inning. Let's see if they run here with Cleet Thomas in the box. Big hole right side. That missed outside for ball 1. Thomas out of Auburn. Spent most of the year at AAA last year for the Tigers.
Roger McDowell talked about the changes in his delivery with a runner at first as in an effort to speed up his lower half.
One there, two there.
If you mess up that play in spring training, you're going to get so much grief because they spend so much time working on pitching fielding practice, pitcher's fielding practice, and a good throw by Tommy to get that started.
So he'll go back to the windup. Bases clear and 2 outs. Yeah, PFP they call it, and that's one of the things that all the pitchers will tell you they really look forward to seeing end spring training.
There's 3 more games counting this one down here, and the team comes back to Atlanta for their exhibition game in Gwinnett against the minor league all-stars Tuesday night.
Bobby Cox is poring over his scouting reports right now, I'm sure.
Think he'll have spikes on.
Pretty good chance.
Pretty good chance.
That exhibition will be at Coolray Field. Then Wednesday we make our way to New York and open up Thursday afternoon against the Mets.
Johan Santana's been given the opening day assignment for the Mets after missing all of last season.
High pop. Ogla out. Hayward in. And Jason takes over. Tommy Hanson pitching effectively and very well. Down a run. And he'll hit third when we return. And all the stars aren't between the white lines, you know. As we head to the bottom of the third inning, Tigers up a run. David Ross, Tyler Pasternicki, and Michael Bourne are coming up. And today, only buy a season ticket plan of 20 games or more. You'll get a 1984 Dale Murphy replica jersey, and you'll be entered into the Chipper Jones 10 prizes in 10 days promotion. All season ticket holders get 33% off food and beverage all year long. Braves representatives are available now. Call them at 404-577-9100.
Chipper Jones 10 prizes in 10 days. Sounds pretty cool.
Ball 1-2. David Ross, Braves catcher today, leading things off against Verlander. I hope Chipper's doing well. Can't wait to see him and get back to Atlanta. Needless to say, Joe, it's been an eventful spring for Chipper. Not just the knee surgery, but his announcement that this will be his final Major League season.
Which I think occurred on the same day, the injury and the announcement.
Under the glove of Prince Fielder. And there's the first Braves hit, first Braves base runner against Verlander. And here's Tyler Pastornicky.
We've been talking about all spring about the battle for the starting spot, the shortstop position. Who's it going to be? This guy, Tyler Pastornicky or Andrelton Simmons. Tyler got off to a really slow start, 3 for his first 30, but you can see over the last 2 weeks that he has really come on with the bat. And Simmons started hot and has cooled off, partly because of a side injury and muscle injury that has slowed him down a little bit. But I just feel like with Pastornicky's bat heating up, that he's probably, and again, it's just my opinion, he's probably taken a step ahead.
But nothing decided. Freddie Gonzalez did say earlier with Tom Hart before the game with the media, shortstop decision won't be made yet for a couple of days, and there are a couple of days left on the spring slate. But needless to say, for Andrelton, he's got to get on the field. He's got to be able to play.
Yeah, but I like what Freddie said too about that he's already shown them enough that they can make a very solid decision one way or the other. They've seen enough to base that decision on. But Tyler's done a good job of hitting behind runners, going the other way, putting the ball in play. He's had some at-bats where he's had to battle behind in the count and work the count to his favor. So he got a good pitch to hit. All good signs that coincide with him saying he's become more comfortable at the plate.
You mentioned our interview with Chipper a couple of weeks ago when he said the game, when you're a young player, seemingly moves 1,000,000 miles an hour. Then when the game slows down is when you really start to feel comfortable and obviously effective. I would assume that that's the case for Pastornicky here.
Yeah, he would tell you it's still pretty fast for him right now, but he's made some good adjustments, and I think part of that quote-unquote speed factor is just being comfortable in your own skin and on your surroundings with your teammates, learning the pitchers. If you're a hitter, learning the pitchers a little better so you've got a sense of what they're trying to do to you. You just get a little smarter with your experience.
From 0-2 now to 2-2 to Pastornicky. Fielder at first, and not in time to get Tyler at first. Ross forced at second. 1 on, 1 out for Tommy Hansen.
But there's another case in point. It didn't work out for him in terms of getting a base hit, but after falling behind 0-2 against arguably the best pitcher in the American League, if not baseball, he's still trying to go the other way and shoot one in that hole over there, and almost did it. Good luck, Tommy. We're all counting on you.
Yes. Strike one.
National League pitchers have to get ready to start the season just like anybody else in situations like this for hitting, and in this case bunting. The American League is with the DH not so, and it's nice that the Braves accommodate the Tigers and say, hey, use the DH if you want, because the last thing Jim Leyland wants is for Justin Verlander to step into a National League park, take a swing, and pull an oblique muscle and be out for 6 weeks. And to that end, I was watching or listening to a game the other day between the Reds and the Angels, and Mike Scioscia forbids his pitchers from swinging.
Really?
Yeah, if they've got a hit, if they don't use the DH.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. And Pastornicki tried to hop over the tag, but couldn't avoid it. Peralta got it down. Nice try, but 2 out.
Tried to protect the runner, maybe a little hit and run almost. Fancy footwork didn't pay off.
So Mike Scioscia says to his pitchers, do not swing.
Yeah, in this case it was Dan Herron, and he came up to bat against Bronson Arroyo with the bases loaded and stood there and drew a walk and never took the bat off his shoulder and was told not to swing.
That's why Mike Scioscia is the manager of the year in the American League with the Angels. 1-0 through 3. One nothing Tigers. Social media buzzing about Tommy Hansen's pitching performance so far today. For more on that, let's check in again with Beth Keener.
Tommy Hansen was named as opening day starter. So we went on Facebook and Twitter and we asked our fans what they want to see out of Tommy on opening day against the Mets. Well, John Ray on Facebook made a great comment. Of course he wants to see a good game, but he also wants to see Hansen take control of the game and never look back. John Ray, I think that is a great comment. I hope to see the same.
So do I, Beth. And for Tommy Hansen, more than anything else, just the fact that he's healthy, his shoulder feels good, he recovered, bounced back nicely from the slight concussion from early in spring training. He just wants to be healthy, and he knows if that's the case, then he will pitch well.
Brandon Bosch starts things off for the Tigers in the 4th. He grounded out his first and only time up. Little outside. Tom Hart's with us today. Again, the shortstop battle between Tyler Pastornicki and Andrelton Simmons continues. Right, Tom?
That's right, Chip. Thanks. In the dugout with Andrelton Simmons. Freddie mentioned today to the press that you'd been bothered by an oblique injury. How you doing? You feeling okay?
Yeah, it's getting better every day. I mean, trainer's been treating me every day, so I'm feeling good.
When do you think you'll be back out there?
I want to be out there right now. I don't know. It's been a day-to-day kind of thing. I'm feeling better. I don't know. I can play, but not at my best. So they think it's best for me to rest. So to whatever they say.
Well, it's already been a great spring for you. You raised a lot of eyebrows with your play, especially early in camp. What was the jump like for you going from the Carolina League to out here on the main field with these guys to start spring?
First of all, it was it's just great to be with all these guys, but I've learned, I mean, the pitching is different. They're smarter. They're definitely smarter. I'm starting to get the hang of it. I'm learning a lot. It's been fun. It's been fun.
There are no Justin Verlanders in the Carolina League right now.
Nah, I don't think so.
How about your defense? That obviously wowed a lot of folks, and we knew, but what you accomplished in Lynchburg last year, that you could pick a little bit and you have a great arm. Are you excited to have the chance to show that this spring?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been pretty decent defensively. Made a couple plays. Still think I had a couple more I could have made, but got to be happy with what you got, right?
Who is it that you've worked most closely with over the course of this spring training?
Everybody, like weight room, maybe Prado, hitting wise. So all the guys, I'll be with all of them. I'll try to pick up everything I can. So pretty much everybody.
You're from Curacao. Do you had a favorite player growing up? I think I know where you might be going with this.
Yeah, Andrew Jones, Chipper Jones, Hat Manny, Derek Jeter. I mean, a lot of heroes.
You know, one thing that I think is a bit overlooked about you, obviously you led the Carolina League in hitting last year, but you also led the league in stolen bases. Do you think you'll have an opportunity to get running when you are with the big league club?
Hopefully. I'm still working on everything. Trying to learn like what I can do at this level, what not, when to do some. I'm still learning. So hopefully I'll be able to.
Well, congratulations on a great spring thus far.
Thank you.
All right, Chip and Joe, back to you guys.
Hey, Tom, thanks. Engaging young man, Andrelton Simmons.
It's always impressive to me, those guys from Curacao who speak 5 languages fluently and do a real good job. He does a great job with his English.
Prince Fielder bats. Braves have a shift on with Miguel Cabrera at first. Single. Fielder had another great year with the Brewers last year. 38 homers, 120 runs batted in. I don't think Comerica Park will be as friendly as Miller Park for him, however.
No, but you know what? He fits in a great way with the city of Detroit. Real blue-collar guy, works hard, plays hard, hustles all the time. You never see him dog it to first. Detroit fans are going to love him.
His dad, of course, played for the Tigers. And there were stories abounding when Prince was 10, 12 years old. He was hitting balls on the roof of Tiger Stadium during batting practice. Tiger Stadium's long gone, but now he's got a chance to go home and hit at Comerica. Into left center field for a hit. Now the Tigers have him first and second with one out.
And he's a good hitter. He's not just a home run hitter. And there's some evidence of that going the other way. Took a little off his swing and went the other way for the hit. He's not a great defensive player, but he's okay. He's not a fast runner, but he's faster than you might think once he gets it going.
And now Andy Dirks bats with 2 on and 1 out. This guy's had a great spring. Dirks hitting .422 for the Tigers. Has 11 hits in his last 23 at bats.
It's always fun to see a young kid or a young player have a good spring when they're trying to find a spot on a really good ball club that exists already. Happy for those people who are able to come to camp, relax, and let their talents be seen.
Out of Wichita State, made a rapid rise through the Tigers farm system, signed professionally in 2008, got to the big leagues last year, saw a lot of playing time too. At 251, 219 at bats, 7 homers. Fights off that pitch to stay alive at 0-2. It's an 8th round pick by the Tigers out of Burton, Kansas. Stop. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's a hard one. That one that bounces so far out in front of the plate that you're not quite sure where it's going to come up or how high it's going to come up on you. Nice play by David.
Broken bat, fly ball to center. Gertz is the second out. And here's Alex Avila. What a thrill it's got to be for him. His dad's the vice president and assistant general manager of the club, working closely with Dave Dombrowski.
His grandfather, Ralph Avila, was one of the executives for the Los Angeles Dodgers and a longtime scout. Wonderful man. So it's definitely in his blood, 3rd generation.
Snap throw back to second. And Pasternaky can't hang on, and Cabrera will move up 90 feet.
I don't know if this throw sailed on Pasternaky or not. It was high, but he's got to catch that ball. Didn't look like they were going to have a play, so when you know you're not going to have a play, then your next responsibility is make sure you catch it.
Tyler didn't. Now the Tigers have 1st and 3rd with 2 out. This kid had a real good year last year for the Tigers, not just because he's the coach's son. Alex, I believe, was an all-star last year for the Tigers.
Had a good postseason too.
With 19 homers, hit .295.
Good fastball from Hansen there. 2-seamer, kind of ran it away from him. Yeah, those are approaching Brian McCann type numbers offensively.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe the American League's version of the Braves catcher. 3 balls and a strike.
What to do with that pitch, that breaking ball, because it was up.
popped up. Tyler drifting out. Bourne coming in. And Michael is there. And that retires the side. Little bit of trouble for Tommy in the fourth, but no further damage. Still a 1-0 game. Well, wherever you are across Braves country, I hope you're enjoying the ball game, especially those of you enjoying the open house at Turner Field. Can't wait to see you there for the Braves home opener. That'll be on April the 13th when the Milwaukee Brewers come to town. And friends, this has been a wonderful spring training for all of us, but it is a bittersweet spring training. Our dear friend Furman Bisher left us on March the 18th.
Yeah, we lost a pal, a fan of the Braves, a friend of the Braves, and one of the best, if not one of the greatest, not the greatest sports writer in our history, at least in our era. He is going to be sorely missed and a friend to all of us. Miss seeing him. We'll miss him at the ballpark. This was his time of year, spring training and the Masters.
That's what I always used to say to him. What a rare treat it is to be able to read about Bobby Jones and Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, and Amen Corner on that final Masters Sunday. So, yes, we will never forget Furman Bisher, and our sympathies go to his family.
To Linda, his wife, and family.
Bourne fought off that pitch and rolls to second for the first out. Here's Jack Wilson. Jack grounded it out his first time up. So you look at the Braves ball club, 4 or 5 spring training games left. Still trying to decide the shortstop spot. Still trying to figure out final spot in the bullpen, right? 5th starter, 5th outfielder. Does that sum it up for you?
Yeah, I think you're right on target there. The injury to Chipper opens up, one more spot on the infield for someone, at least temporarily. The outfield setup is a little different. There's three guys at least that are vying for one spot. One guy that's familiar to Braves fans, that's Jose Constanza, who played so well in August and September last year after he was called up, but he's had a bad spring. And just one walk mixed in there, so not much of an on-base percentage. Louis Durango had a triple last night, scored a run in the first inning. He's played much better, but the guy with the most pop, Jordan Perez, is a right-handed hitter and might be more valuable as a right-handed pinch hitter off the bench. Give him a little more flexibility there. first two guys, Costanza and Durango, kind of the same guy, speedy left-handed slash hitters.
Full foul by Wilson. Jack stays alive. No balls, 2 strikes.
I would say, just on the outside looking in, this week, Jason Hayward's played a lot of center field as a potential guy to give Michael Bourne a day off, which would lead you to believe, well, maybe they want to make sure they're comfortable with Jason playing center field on occasion. And that might put a dent in the prospects of Costanza and Durango, who can play out there.
Jason was in center last night. So read into that what you will. And the 5th starter spot. That's another question. Neither Delgado nor Tehran have pitched all that great. They've shown flashes, certainly, but both have high ERAs this spring.
Well, and I had the same opinion, Chip, but I was told today by Frank Wren and some members of his staff that they're pleased with the way Tehran and Delgado have pitched. In fact, Randall yesterday, his first 3 innings, shutout baseball against the Astros over in Kissimmee. They were very pleased with the way he pitched. That the numbers aren't all that pretty, but they pitched a lot better than that would indicate. And it seemed that way, I'll say, for Randall more so than Julio, because we saw more of Delgado at the end of the year. It only seemed like 1 inning that gave him some trouble, and that's kind of been the case down here this spring. He'll get off to a good start, maybe pitch a couple of good innings, and then he'll have a bad inning, and then 2 good ones after that. And that's just some of his inexperience.
And you heard Freddie Gonzalez say with Tom Hart that with the signing of Livan Hernandez, Livan at this point is not going to be a candidate for that 5th starter spot.
Yeah, that it in no way, and Frank said that he put that to rest right away, that in no way affected the battle for the 5th spot. Which led me to believe that means one of those 2 guys will be the 5th starter. And that spot, you look at it, it might be 3 starts because of all the off days in April. That might only be 3 starts before Tim Hudson comes back. And Tim's supposed to pitch Monday, which is great.
Jack Wilson just missed a double.
Up a good at bat here.
And a couple of those against Verlander today.
Kind of hitting in the dark right now. It's clouding up the old ballpark.
Yep.
Down and got that fastball. Just dropped the barrel on it.
Verlander's thrown him everything he can try to get him out with. Jack won't oblige him.
It's kind of what he did to Hinsky an inning ago, and he finally got Eric, I think, on a changeup.
This will be the 11th pitch of the at-bat. Popped up by the Braves dugout. Prince Fielder doesn't get there.
Braves heading for cover 2. His best fastball was one that was just fouled into the dugout by the radar gun here at the ballpark. It was 96. And then he came back with the changeup. Jack got a piece of that too.
Even Verlander's starting to smile, like, what do I got to do to get this guy out? Love the battle with Jack Wilson here in the Braves half of the 4th.
Backing it up with another change.
Fourth strikeout. And 2 down in the Braves inning.
Circle changeup. Do it to a great spot. Outside part of the plate. Looks like it's going to be very hittable, and then it just dies at the plate, and you can't reach it.
Base is clear for Freeman. Freddie flied out to deep center, his first and only time up. He too's had a nice spring, 6 homers, 14 RBIs.
And a lot of that damage in the last 10 days. What you like to see. Greg Walker's been raving about him. Rookie Triple Crown numbers right there.
And he rolls that one through the right side cleanly. That's the second Braves hit. Look at Verlander.
Yeah. Even the Cy Young MVP was frustrated with that one. Made a good pitch, and Freddie rolled over it right into the hole.
Second Atlanta hit. Here's Dan Uggla. Dan struck out swinging his first time up.
He got him on breaking balls, and there's another one. Verlander pitched earlier this spring against the Braves and beat them. Went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits and a couple of runs. Today he's expected to stretch it out to about 95 pitches.
Another broken bat. A line drive into and out of the Tigers dugout.
That split was virtually the entire length of the bat. Dan wasn't even sure where the ball went.
Driven right center. And that'll roll to the wall. Freddie Freeman around third is going to score. Uggla on his way to third. The throw will beat him. The run does count as Uggla doubles to right center field and ties the game. 15th RBI for Uggla.
Got a high fastball and stays hot.
So the Braves, a little 2-out magic, tie it up 1-1 heading to the 5th. First pitch of the 5th inning is popped up by Ryan Rayburn. It is shallow right. Tommy Hanson continues his good work. 1 pitch, 1 out. Braves make a defensive change in this inning. Drew Sutton is checked in. They'll give Jack Wilson the rest of the day off. Drew will play third base, which will be the position manned by the man joining us in the Braves dugout, Mr. Martin Prado.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
You
still,
guys doing?
you're still here.
Yes, it's hard to go home and just stay home. I like baseball. I love to be here, and either I'm not playing, just I have to do something.
So how's it been coming back in to play third base, Martin? Easy transition, come back?
People think, they always ask me, hey, how do you do it so easily? It's not easy. I got to get here early and take some grounders and get that feeling again. There's a lot of difference when you're playing down there. Just kind of hoping that you get a fly ball or whatever. Feel like in third base you got more action. You got a lot of things you have to think about. So it's not that easy, but I'm trying to set my mind every single day before
you said the game. I'm sorry, Martin. You said in the offseason you really learned from your experience of doing that last year how to pace yourself over the course of this long season. What specifically do you mean by that?
Well, I guess that when they asked me to play left field, I knew that that experience is gonna be a new thing for me, and I knew that I gotta show everybody and all my teammates that I can be solid playing left field. So I concentrate too much about taking fly balls and what I have to do to be perfect in left field, either than just change routines and trying to pace myself and in every single position. So this year I just focus and trying to get my work done in every single position that I could play in during the season, and that's what I've been doing this spring.
That was Clete Thomas, by the way, who hit a long homer to put the Tigers back in front by a score of 2-1.
You happy with where your swing is right now?
To be honest with you, yes. I went back to the guy that I used to be when I got called out the first time to the bigs, where I was confident enough to make approach with 2 strikes, and I knew that I got my hands in the right spot and I could hit the ball the other way with any single situation and count. So I'm pretty happy where I am right now.
Well, Martin, can you stick around for another half inning?
Oh yeah, sure.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, come back with more. 2-1 Tigers the lead. Detroit jumps back in front by a run as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. We're 5 days away from opening day, and Sports South continues to get you geared up for the Braves season with the 2012 Braves season preview. Joe and I bring you exclusive interviews with Freddie Gonzalez, Chipper Jones, Brian McCann, and the rest of your Atlanta Braves. Catch it tonight at 10:30 here on Sports South. We did not have an exclusive interview with Martin Prado for the preview show because we knew we were going to get him during our game today against the Tigers. We could talk much more completely with you today.
Yeah, I love that, guys. You know, I like to chat with you.
Hey, you know, this game's being played at the ballpark at Turner Field. It's on Braves Vision today. They have their open house. I'm sure you want to say hi to your fans in Atlanta today if you can.
Oh, definitely. There's nothing better than that. You know, I've been playing for the Braves for a long time, but I guess the Brave fans, they've been like amazing to me, and they're so happy still with the Braves because I know that I'm gonna have that support from them, and that's why every time I'm go up there and play, I'm trying to do my best because I know that they deserve that.
2 quick strikes to Jason Hayward.
Martin, you guys got off to a little bit of a slow start this spring, and that's not altogether surprising for any ball club. But are you happy with the way you guys are playing here as you approach the end of spring training?
Yes. I mean, just there were a lot of questions and wonderings that at the beginning of spring, just all the beats, all the guys that were in the different ways, but as soon as the spring training came along, just guys start making adjustments and approaching to the season. So I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty confident on every single guy in this clubhouse. And for me personally, as soon as the season starts, I think we're gonna have that chemistry, and we're gonna be that team that we're gonna battle every day.
Was it tough going through the offseason, not knowing if you were going to be an Atlanta Brave or with another major league club?
It was tough. The first 2 weeks, I got a lot of calls from friends and family, and I was working out here at the stadium, and to know that I was wondering where I gonna end up tomorrow. So, and in that point, I was like, hey, this is something that I cannot control. It's out of my regimen, and I said I gotta prepare myself. If they make a call, they make a decision. So it's just gonna be tough to swallow. But I got a great support from my teammates, and I told them, hey, if I stay here, I gotta make sure that everybody's gonna be happy with my job.
You've had a nice front row seat to watch the competition.
What was that?
You've been in a nice spot to be able to watch the competition at shortstop between Tyler Pasternicki and Andrelton Simmons. What's your take on the way those two kids have played?
Well, it's been pretty close. Those two kids, they got everything. They got all the tools and all the skills to be a success in this game, and it's been a clean battle, and I don't see like either one can play in the majors right now.
That's good endorsement right there.
David Ross, the batter, with 2 outs and the bases clear. Detroit 2, Braves 1. That's Martin Prado, El Presidente, we call him.
Presidente Latino. Yes.
And now you've got Livan Hernandez, huh?
Yes, we got he is going to be the president from now on. So I'm out of my duties right now, guys.
Okay, all right.
So there's a lot of things that's going on with, it's hard to be a president, trust me.
Well, if anybody could do it, it would be you. You would have my vote, that's for sure. Hey, we're glad you're back, Martin, and looking forward to seeing you get things going for real on Thursday against the Mets.
Hey, guys, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right, Martin Prado. He'll always be El Presidente. As David Ross behind in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One thing I love about Martin, he is full of candor. Often you hear guys say, wow, I really like my swing. Or wow, that was tough to deal with. A terrific guy and a terrific player too. Good ball game here in Orlando. Tigers lead it by a 2-1 score through 5. The Atlanta Braves on Sports South are brought to you in part by Honda Lawn and Garden and by Ram Trucks. Plenty of goodies here at Champion Stadium. Tigers 2, Braves 1 as we hit the 6th inning. Again, friends, today only buy a season ticket, play at 20 or more games. You'll get a Dale Murphy replica jersey dated from 1984. And you'll be entered into the Chipper Jones 10 prizes in 10 days promotion. All season ticket holders get 33% off food and beverage all year long. Give a Braves ticket representative a call, 404-577-9100. Brendan Bosch leads things off. New left fielder into the game for the Braves. That's Louis Durango. He's vying for a spot on the Braves bench, perhaps. As Bosch pops one into shallow right. Eric Kinsky joins us, not quite ready to go 9 out there, big boy, are you?
I've been playing a lot.
Oh, okay.
He asked me if I would do it too. I said, hey, you're the skipper, I'll do whatever you want.
Boy, it's not an easy day today with Verlander out there. You put up a good battle at first at bat, and then he finally got you with a good changeup of all things.
Yeah, the problem with him is his stuff is unreal, but he doesn't ever throw it in a spot where you can hit it. You know? It's always painted on the corners, and you know, I fouled off about 5 fastballs in a row, and then he went that inside changeup, and yeah, he's got that Cy Young by his name for a reason.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. It's fun though. It's fun to battle. I like facing good pitchers because they're always around the zone and they're going to challenge you and see what you have. So it's a good old-fashioned battle. He ended up winning, but you know that's part of it. It's fun.
I'll say these are probably the kind of bats you want this time of spring training with the opening day less than a week away.
Yeah, you know, you're getting locked in, your timing's down. I wasn't feeling too well in the start of the spring, and about the last 2 weeks I've been swinging at that really well. So, you know, I'm feeling good. I think everybody's just excited to get going now because these last 3 games were kind of like, we want the bell to ring, we want the lights to turn on, you know?
Exactly. And your turnaround is kind of coinciding with everybody else. Everybody seems to be turning it up a notch. You guys are playing a lot better and getting some better results.
We are, for sure. Definitely having better team at bats. I think today was a good indication of it. Jack Wilson had a long at bat, and these good pitchers on the mound, you want to get their pitch count up as quick as possible, try to get in that bullpen. So pitching's been good for us, and we're just trying to stay healthy through the rest of spring.
Tommy Hansen's looking good today too.
Yeah, I haven't seen him yet, actually. I've been on the road a lot, so he looks to be healthy, looks to be good. He's going to be a big part of it, so hopefully he's ready to roll. Look at this weather coming in. You watching this?
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's dark.
Yeah, the wind picked up about 10 miles an hour, and now it's getting dark. Whoa.
High, towering fly to right. Jason broke back. Wind's playing tricks with it, and he hangs with it. You picked a good time, Ski, to get out of the ball game.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Eric Hinsky, appreciate your time, pal.
All right, guys.
See you on Thursday.
Good to see you again.
All right, you too.
Yeah.
The Atlanta Braves on Sports South, brought to you in part by Academy Sports and Outdoors and by Honda Lawn and Garden. The skies have opened in Orlando as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The rain is coming down very heavily. And Justin Verlander, at least for the moment, will continue on for the Tigers.
Yeah, and just moments ago, Jim Leland, the skipper, was out on the top step, and he was kind of looking at the umpires like, what are you going to do here? He doesn't want his MVP and Cy Young Award winner jeopardized pitching on a wet mound.
Winds are whipping around as we look at the flagpole in left center as Tyler Pasternicki bats for the second time today.
I can't tell if it's let up or if the wind's just blowing so hard it's blowing it sideways.
Nothing to two.
I just know that it's like Eric was just saying a minute ago, it's tough enough to hit off this guy without having the rain and wind blowing in your face.
And how great was his line? He always seems to throw the ball in a place where you can't hit it. No kidding.
That's just, you know, it seems like all the great ones did that. It just wasn't fair.
Right?
Yeah.
Pretty much what you'd expect out of Verlander. Joe mentioned earlier he has excellent control, and he has had that again today. He struck out 4 men. He's allowed 3 hits.
Greg Maddux had a knack of doing that, throwing it where you couldn't hit it. He just didn't throw it 95 like this guy.
Cabrera, nice play at third. And 1 out. All season long, Braves baseball on Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price. Joe Simpson, Chip Carey, Tom Hart, the rest of our Fox Sports crew here with you in Orlando. Beth Keener along as well, monitoring the social media for us. And Verlander continues on. He'll face Matt Diaz. Day is done for Tommy Hanson.
Good outing against a good hitting ball club who, for the most part, had their lineup here. Delman Young wasn't in the lineup today, but they had everybody else.
Foul down the first base line. Quickly 2 strikes. So again, the news of the day from the ballpark. Freddie Gonzalez announced before the game that Tommy Hanson will be the Braves' opening day starter against the Mets. He'll be followed by Jair Jurgens in game 2. Mike Minor will pitch the opening Sunday against the Mets at Citi Field, and then we'll make our way down to Houston.
And another good sign for Hansen, no walks. Only one walk in 13 innings so far this spring.
That's how Braves' first 4 will line up. And the reason we don't have a 5th starter is the Braves haven't announced who's won that job yet. And still 0-2. Yes, he did. Diaz can't believe it. And that's the second out.
Five strikeouts for Verlander. And maybe during the regular season and it's not raining, you might get away with that one. Not today.
Like a Bourne pass.
This Tiger Ball Club won 95 games last year. You know who finished second in their division? White Sox, Twins, Kansas City, Cleveland.
Let's see. I will guess the Kansas City Royals.
You know, I was surprised that when I saw this today, it was Cleveland Indians.
Really?
Yeah, and they were 2 games under 500.
Opposite field, broken bat hit for Bourne. So he's aboard with a 2-out single, his first base hit of the day. Well, you got to figure that the Tigers are the odds-on favorite to win the Central, don't you?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not even sure who's gonna challenge them, if anybody.
But Jim Leyland will be the first to tell you, we can have all the predictions you want, we still have to go out and play the games.
Yep. Good starting pitching, terrific lineup. Valverde at the end of ball games to close. And they gave Texas all they wanted in the ALCS last year.
Added fielder. They moved Cabrera from first back over to third base. They got Peralta in this his free agent year to play shortstop. Still trying to figure out second base where Ryan Rayburn getting a lot of playing time. Drew Sutton drives one to right. And Verlander pitches another effective ball game this spring. He gets Sutton to line out to right. And we are through 6 soggy innings in Orlando with the Tigers ahead 2-1.
Still windy, still raining. A little lightning here in Orlando as well as we head to the 7th inning. Couple of changes for the Braves defense. Jordan Perez takes over in right field. Jason Hayward moves from right field to center field. And Tommy Hansen's day on the mound is done. He'll give way to last year's Rookie of the Year, Craig Kimbrell, and his 46 saves.
Giving up a run this. Been in 8 games. Only given up 1 hit. 5 walks, 10 strikeouts.
And unlike last spring training when the Braves were reluctant to name a man to be their closer, remember that was either going to be Johnny Venters or Kimbrell depending on the situation. No such story in 2012. Kimbrell's the guy.
Now the Tigers, if hitting off Tommy Hansen wasn't hard enough, now they got to hit off Kimbrell in the rain. And it is pouring. They got to stop this.
Yeah, finally. And we understand the bad weather is causing some video transmission problems back to the satellite and back to our studios in Atlanta. But go outside, turn on the hose, splash it against a window, and you have a pretty good idea of how much rain's coming down at the ballpark.
Look at this.
We can hardly see the scoreboard in center field. That's how heavy the rain is coming down. And the grounds crew here at Champion Stadium getting the mound covered very slowly, now getting home plate covered. And the tarp will be rolling out here in just a few seconds. But a deluge
at Disney has interrupted this game in the top half of the 7th inning. Detroit leads the ball game by a score of 2-1. We'll take a quick break, come back, and sort things out for you after this.